that will give you persistence. You'll start off in a small apartment, but you can earn money, move your way up, upgrade to bigger, better places, get a penthouse, get real estate on different locations. And our longer term goal with the HABs, I think in 3.3, the HAB system is going to be not that different than what we have currently in 3.2, except for there will be persistence when you're in the session, so you can go back to your HAB and through of it. But our long-term plan is you have a dedicated HAB that is actually a unique location you can go to, and every player has a different one. And we have a city big enough to be able to sort of handle that.
To support
and the other landing zones, which you will see in a little bit.
And obviously, depending on when you get into that HAB might be very close to the city, or you might have to take a train out to your HABs.
To your HABs, yes, exactly. And you'll sort of see the scale when we get out to the city. So let's wake up, Glenn. We'll get up, lazy. And you had a night last night. Look at that. There's some beer, reading. Yeah, Glenn, and this will be a personal choice. You can have a messy HAB,
yes,
or a tidy HAB. It'll be completely up to you how you want to hold your items. But let's go. I don't know. It's kind of let's get a cup of Joe.
Yep. So this is actually going to be showing off our. This is a more in-depth interaction system and how this can lead to missions, because we want you to pick up things. We want you to interact with the world and be able to look around and hunt for clues and those types of things. Go ahead and get your coffee.
Right, so yeah, we have a cup of coffee. We have the interaction system where we can
inspect it.
Look at all items. So you'll be able to. So it's a far. So in 3.3, you'll be able to look at your weapons, look at objects you pick up, and the long-term goal is pretty much most items in the world will be interactable. You can take them, you can move them, they're persistent. You can store them in your spaceship. You can store them in your HAB, and we're also. Not in 3.3, but we're going to be expanding the player status system. We already have the stamina that happens, and you need oxygen. But we're not going to go full core like survival or hard sim, but you are going to occasionally need to drink some liquids or eat some food.
Or breathe.
Or breathe. And it's really just resource management, not any different than you would have resource management for your ship that needs fuel and power and stuff like that. So we'll have our little cup of Joe in the morning, wake us up. There we go. And so some of the things we have in the HAB here are also to play with early in 3.3, but we'll actually have more gameplay and meaning. But here's an example of placing and putting stuff around. So you'll be able, so it's not just like the old system in the hangars where you had to put it on certain spots.
Yep.
You can place items anywhere you want, pick them up from crouching. So there's a lot more the other thing, longer term, short term in 3.3, it won't be so important, but we are going to move to what we call a physical inventory system, which means that you have to be able to carry the things you've got. There won't be any sort of magic inventory where you can just go to your Moby Glass and pull out 5 different armor sets and 100 different weapons. So it'll be what you can carry on your person, or if you've got a bag or a backpack, or what you can put on your spaceship, or what you can store on your HAB. Or will be all things that would sort of constrain your equipment that you can have and use. And that would also be a reason as you play the game, you earn more money, you can buy bigger places, bigger spaces, more ships, more places to store it. But again, managing your equipment,
it's meaningful choices.
It's like a resource to manage.
Yeah, it's basically, we just want the players to make meaningful choices. I'm going to take this armor set and do this. I'm going to take this ship and do this. If you can pull it from anywhere, you're not making those hard choices.
Okay, so let's head out into the common area of the HAB. We're on, I believe, HAB L19.
L19 residences.
Right, yeah. So on the AI side, we'll see more of it we go on, but it's the early days of the AI going about their lives. There's a lot more that's going to come in. We have this usable system, I think we've talked about in the past, that longer term is what allows the AI to do everything from playing an arcade game to sweeping the the floor, to having a drink.
Well, even allowing the player to do the same thing.
Yeah, and the player, you can use the same systems and animations. And so we want to build a living, breathing city or locations, because the thing is, in a multiplayer game, if you just rely on the players for the population, the problem is everyone's running around trying to do a mission or earn money, and they're sprinting left and right. So the AI is very important to give locations a sense of life, which is what we're going to be aiming for here. You're going to see more of it. We're going to go down to the base of L19, and when we look back at it, you'll sort of see it's a tall, sort of upside down bracket. Like here's the admin office in the bit of L19, so again, that's where you could drop off or have things delivered. You can sort of see how tall it is up on it, and let's head out.
I think this area holds 100 habs.
Yeah, so each building holds 100 habs.
Yeah.
So as more players come online and they would start in Lorville, we would actually have more of these buildings that would be populated. Yeah. So here we are, we're out here. This is looking out at the vista onto Lorville. See a fair amount of security. And
we have the spaceport across the way.
Yeah, Tessa Spaceport is the main spaceport of Lorville that's coming, and can't see if we ship, but there should be ships coming and going as well as players. So we have ships that are actually coming out of quantum travel in orbit and coming down, landing on the pad or taking off. But I didn't see any one of them. But that's because it's also systemic, so it doesn't always happen on cue because it's not scripted. And here we're just we'll carry on because we're going to show you a little bit of Lorville. And this area is sort of the kind of, the L19 worker area of it,
yes,
right?
And I mean, this is about selling the security building and the oppression of Hurston towards its workers.
So Hurston's a corporate planet, and the Hurston Corporation owns and runs it. So as you see a fair amount of security around, they're maybe, I wouldn't say the nicest employer. They want everyone to do their job and not complain, even if they don't get paid a lot and the air quality is really bad. You'll see a fair amount of Hurston security around. They will, stop and do checks on other NPCs, tell you to move on and hurry up. And here we are coming out onto, I think, the main plaza of this particular area. I think we call it Leavestone, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll go into the bar.
Yeah, and bar. I've talked about bars long term being locations you would go to get some gossip, find out what's happening, maybe have some slightly shadier missions that you can accept versus the sort of more clean scrubbed ones that you would get on, say, the job boards.
I love that poster.
Yeah, the hammerhead.
So every now and then.
Yeah, and we're in an active city, so we actually have full trains of transit.
Yep. They've done.
Hey.
I just went by.
Okay.
You all right?
That's the light flickering.
You want a drink or something?
I need a drink.
So this is our early implementation of the bartender, and you can order whiskey or you can order beer. So Glenn is going to do an Irish coffee in kind of a messed up way, not the proper way.
What do you want?
Appreciated.
Good choice.
As I said, this is the 3.3 build. There's
There's still some glitches.
Like
and some wonky gravity.
It's fine once we get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't reset the gravity vector until you actually pick it up. So. We got ice cube simulation. There you go. Very important.
Yeah.
And there's only one cube in the whiskey, which is also very important. All right, let's have a drink. Let's have a drink, but not too much.
So again, in the future, when we're talking about the player status, you'll be able to drink too much, stumble around, have those types of wonderful things.
Yeah, maybe you have one drink, you'll have a little bit of courage, you're like a little bit more strength in combat, but too many drinks, so you lose your coordination. All right.
Hey.
We've missed the trains both times. So,
Glenn?
okay, let's see. All right, we have we got an invite to go see Clovis Darnley in the reclamation and disposal. So this is the mission that is the one that we're going to show. So
yes.
Let's accept that. And we just need to go to reclamation and disposal and go from there.
And this is one of the mission givers on Hurston. One of the multiple ones.
He obviously had a few drinks.
Yeah. So over here we've got Maria Part. This goes back to player status and kind of the idea behind Death of the Spaceman, where when you die, this is where you'll, or die, this is where you'll come back, you'll respawn here.
Yeah.
And then also when you get injured and the med pin takes you back to a certain percentage, and then it will fade over time, and then you'll need to actually get fixed up here. Whether it's at a hospital, or by Apollo, or in depth.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the idea is the med pen is a short-term solution. It stops bleeding and lets you operate for a while. If you don't go and get longer-term fixed up, the bleeding will come back and eventually die. Even with med pens, you still need to go back and get medical help. Like, you'll prepare yourself. So here we are, operation and disposal.
Oh, apologies. The air is especially dreadful today. Still alive, I think. Hello, welcome to Recreation Disposal. My name is Clovis Darnley. Wonderful to meet you. What do you do on this fine day?
Well, gave us an invite about work. Let's ask about that.
It's an excellent question. If you're not concerned, shades of morality, I may have a lead on some, well, let's just call it questionable materials in the forceful collection. The devil's in the details, I believe. Read them well.
Okay, there's a satellite that's fallen from orbit, and it has a prototype blade that we want to check out. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Let's head out to the... Checking us, yeah. We got it. Oh, we're going to do a comm call. All right. We're going to ask one of our friends. Okay. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
There he is. Oh. Hand's a bit weird.
Oh.
How's it going? Nice, man. Hey, look, I just got this mission. Apparently, I need to go out some location for potential salvage. What do you want?
Is he calibrated?
Hey, you look interested. Alright, I'll shoot you. Alright,
All right. So we come, obviously, still some kinks in the facial sort.
Just a little bit.
I'm not sure whether we calibrated correctly. Doesn't Chris have glasses or not?
Chris does have glasses.
Okay, but that is an example of comp calls in RTD with a face over IP, not the best example of the quality that you can get out of it. But we have face over IP that's working right now in the 3.3 ES brand, the MD.
They can actually play it too.
And they could, yeah. And you'll also be able to go and check it out in the LAN room, the LAN room. Okay, so
that's L19. That is
that's
we're going to head to Tammany Instance, which is a shop. We're going to buy some armor. We're going to buy a multi-tool as well, because we'll need that for the mission. So straight ahead, that is the business district we'll be looking towards for 3-4.
Right, so this is the actual flight that's coming through the RSI Odyssey. It's very cool. So we're gonna get it.
By the way.
Academy again.
I'm in wings.